So now I am going to go and talk about the Colab notebook that we will be demonstrating. So as I said, in my case, I am going to take a pre-trained model because I don't have enough time, even you don't have enough time, and the Colab GPUs are not very powerful. But if you do get a little bit powerful GPU, we have enough codes on the internet, enough things, enough material on data on the internet for you to build your own Hindi TTS, the one that I showed you, or Hindi. They will take on a reasonably powerful GPU. With within few hours you can generate a good synthetic voice, okay, like the one that I showed you just now, right? So so this is the Colab notebook. So for your benefit, I'm going to go step by step to see how where is the cursor? Okay. So as usual, we need to generate a lot of this, we need, basically we are going to use transformers. I think you have a fair idea. We are always going to use transformers, and we are using Hugging Face frameworks, or data sets are going to be loaded there. I am going to use a toolkit called Speech Brain, okay. So which is useful for this particular task, makes my job a little easier. So let me just run these things a little. Unfortunately, the cursor is very bad, okay. So here, so it's just installing some things, okay. It's looking for the GPU on the call. So I hope we get it. So I got it, okay, good. So these are some basic packages and things that you need. So I'm not going to, I mean, you can, when you get the Colab notebook, you can look at it, get some more details, okay. So this is the easy part, right? It's all done and dusted, okay. Now I am okay, we don't want 1 dB, so we'll just disable that, okay. Unfortunately, to make my job easier, I have taken Netherlands Dutch speech. So VoxPopuli is a famous data, but it's usually for automatic speech recognition. I'm using that data for synthesizing speech. Synthetic speech is usually done with studio quality recording by a news broadcaster or a radio jockey or a video jockey. That's why the quality is very good, okay. But I'm using something which is spoken by normal human beings under ordinary conditions, right? So the output will not be obviously that great, but it will be pretty decent, okay. And because this VoxPopuli is famous and already on the net, I am going to use it, right? And I'm specifically, it's got multiple European languages, so we are going to use only the Dutch version of it, the Netherlands version of it. So I'm just going to take that data, okay. Oh sorry, I should have okay, this is going to take some time. I should have stopped it 1 minute. Let me just 1 minute. So I am going to run it only for some little more data, little less data. So I'll take only 1/8 of the data, okay. Let me run it. It'll ask you yes, because I think it's taking something, so don't worry, just say yes, okay. So this is the actual data that is being downloaded, right? It's quite a huge amount of data, not huge, it's a few hours. I think it's about 11 hours of Dutch data that is there. If you run this and you have enough time on a Colab, you can get a very good voice, okay, even with this 11 hours. I am going to run very small experiment, but you will see that still I can generate intelligible speech, okay. Of course, the more steps you run, more epochs you run, it is going to give you a quality that is far superior, because I have run the training for a very short time and I have taken a very small subset of this data only. So I'm not taking the entire data itself, okay. So just to make the steps, I can go through the steps. I am not actually dealing with all of the data. So it's just loading the data. So you can see here, this is the train part of the ASR task, and this is called the development data, which is usually used to tune your hyperparameters, and finally we inference and see how well your speech recognition system is performing. Remember, I told you this Dutch data is for speech recognition, but I am going to use it for speech synthesis. Okay. It will just take, it's just loading it now. Okay. So it's just fetch the data and just converting it to, proper formats and so on. Just bear with me. Okay, it's just going to take some time. So okay, so it's still doing it. I'm just seeing what is there. Okay, so so if you remember, in speech synthesis we are going to start with characters, correct? Now these characters can sometimes be not seen because I am using a pre-trained model, right. So unfortunately I am using a pre-trained model that saw the regular A, regular C, regular E and so on. Okay. But in Dutch there can be some characters that come like this, some with that what is called the upsound, whatever they call it, umlaut and all these things. Okay. Now if it encounters a character that it has not seen, for which it has not trained, it will throw up and say sorry, and it will just do something berserk, right. So what I am doing in this program is purposely mapping A of the Dutch back to regular A for English, C and C. So all those special characters, because they will sound similar, so I am going to map it back into the regular A to Z of my English characters, even though they have that umlauts and all that. So because I am going to remember text to speech. So first I start with the text and then I have to convert it to phonemes, and sometimes we skip that, you will not see it, but it is internally done. And therefore it should not encounter some unseen characters, right. So I am just accounting for that a little bit. Okay. So now it is generating the train split, and slowly it will generate the test split also. So remember that. So I am going to be not using the exact, if I encounter in my Dutch thing some characters, I am going to replace it. That is the step that I was just showing. I have to pre-process it so that I don't mess up when I am actually training these systems by using a pre-trained model. Okay. So okay. So then I can, these are just a subset of the data that I am using. I am going to get the corresponding audio. Remember, it is supervised learning, the text and the audio I need, right. And the audio is sampled at, in our case, at 16 kilohertz. So that is what it is showing here. Okay. So the audio that was recorded was at 16 kilohertz. Now I am going to get a pre-trained model. This is from Microsoft. It is called T5. Okay. So we will just you don't worry how it is trained. So Microsoft has pre-trained it. So I'm making my job easier. I don't need any of these pre-trained models. Whatever I showed you on our website is built from scratch. You have only the data, only the audio and the text, and we build it from scratch. Okay. But in this case I am taking not English or Hindi or any of them. I am taking some Dutch language just to make my job easier. but given that you can do this, you can do it also for once you know how it works, you can try out for other languages too. Okay. So here, remember I said I am going to extract all the characters because I want to know what are the characters. Are there some funny characters that are there in this particular text? See, text and audio are given to me, right? And I'm going to train a system. Now, if I get some funny audio, funny text, then I have to map it back. Okay, that's what I'm essentially doing it here. So I'm going to replace all those funny characters that I've never seen to regular A, B, C, D. Okay, so that's all that I'm doing there. Okay, then I have to create the dictionary, right? So this dictionary, remember we talked about the lexicon or the dictionary. Then also I'm trying to find out how many guys have spoken how many sentences, so that I take speakers who have spoken quite a bit, so that remember I can do per speaker voice also, right? So I'm going to do that also. So this is where we are talking about speaker IDs and capturing the speaker embeddings, somewhat similar to the first step that we did for the speaker diarization problem. And then this will be like 569 or something, right? So yes, then I'm going to import speech brain because that's the toolkit that I'm going to be using, right? Then I'm preparing the audio and the text, the labels. So for my training, right, setting it up. Okay, so these are the speaker embeddings. Remember, I'm going to be doing the speaker embeddings. I'll come to it later. This is called the spectrogram. This is the time frequency plot, how the speech is evolving with time. Okay, so these are something called the pitch harmonics, and then there are the formants that you can see. So if you look at the speech course, you'll understand this a little better. Okay. Oh, did I do something wrong? Okay, so I am not going to train. Let me see if I can get away with 400 steps of training, so that I can save some time. Even that will take me about 10 minutes. Okay, but with that, is it intelligible? Let us just see. Okay, and just bear with me. Okay. Okay, so I am just taking a small test split, which is 0.1. Okay, these are I'm now organizing everything, the labels, the characters, speaker embeddings, everything. Okay, so it's all done. Then I'm going to use the T5, right? So I'm going to import T5 from here. Okay. Okay, so this test setting, I am purposely going to reduce it so that I get a little more, I don't have to waste so much time. Okay, so I'm going to do 200. Eval steps is also 200, let us say. Okay, logging steps, I think max steps should be enough. Okay, so this is going to take a while. Okay, So I'll just show you. So it's now going to take. This is just a configuration. Okay. So if you remember, I've said max steps is 600. Save every 200 steps the model. Okay. So that I can see how the model is progressing. Okay. And now actually I'm going to do the training step. Okay. So I'm purposely making it into smaller and smaller pieces so that you can see what's happening. Okay. So what happened? I said I didn't want a 1 dB, right? Oh my god. So I have to run this again. Okay, I really messed it up, but okay, so these steps, can I take it from some previously? Okay, so in the interest of time, okay, so trust me that I've done all the important steps, okay, so it has to just train. Now it's too late to do it, okay, so it'll train properly, okay, and then what you do is, here is a text, okay, this text is where you type whatever you want, okay, and then the speech output will come as you desire, okay. This is hello Alamal Ikprat. So if you do this, if you run it, it will run properly and you will get the output. So if you run through, you can actually listen to it and it will sound properly, okay. And here is these other embeddings that you have, the data set and things like that. So here it's actually which speaker you want. So here it's 200, but actually we reduce the data set, so you can take the 10th speaker, some different voice will come. If you put 20 or 11 or 12 or 15, every time you change that number and rerun this, you will get a completely different voice, okay. And if you change the text here, you can even type some English text, because Dutch and English are very close. So even if you say hello, how are you, it will sort of say hello, how are you, like that. It will sound like almost English. Obviously it is picked up from a Dutch speaker, so that accent of the Dutch speaker might be there a little bit, but nevertheless this should sort of you know sorry, yeah, it started training. So just see whether we can get the 200th epoch output. It's already done 17 steps, okay, so 200 steps. Otherwise it's going to take about 16 minutes, but let us just see if some output comes. It will keep improving, okay.